Alright, good day everybody, still here. It's Wednesday, January 22nd for the Daily Market Pulse. So stocks indexes were mixed for the most part. NASDAQ was really the only index up higher today. Volume was lower, declining. So for the most part, really, uptrend continues, although things look a little shaky, especially when you look at the futures. It looks like there's, the shoe could drop at any time. Distribution days have gone as high as 7 all the way down to 5 and 5 respective to NASDAQ and S&P. That's still pretty high. But with the NASDAQ being as high as it is and making new highs still, the strength remains in the market. And only time will tell if these distribution day counts are going to lower as a result of time elapsing or not. So for now, the uptrend is up until proven otherwise. Until we see a significant sell signal, we are on the long side. Let's take a look at the charts. So Dow Jones, you can see sideways, holding at the window. When I zoom in a little bit more, you can see there's that window from way back here. There was another window that occurred at the exact same level. So right now, that is your support level. Let's do it a little bit bigger. Right there. So that's the support area right now. It's holding. It's below the 8-moving average, mind you, right now. But holding that support level right at the moment. In fact, when I had that graphic a minute ago, I should have updated the Dow Jones saying it was below the 8, not above the 8. But anyway. It's going sideways, holding the window for now. See, Bollinger Bands are tight. There is a volatile move coming. It's coming. So which way? There still seems to be somewhat of a negative divergence possibly here that exists. So let's see how it goes. S&P looks like this. S&P stuck essentially between the window and the 8-moving average and the resistance above based on the bear sash that was formed back on the 14th of December. So it's been a month. A month sideways, except for when the new year started. We had the sell-off and then we had the buy-in. And that's it. Nothing else has happened since. So it's been sideways, quiet, leading to the end of the year, and then a little bit of a bang, and then nothing. So again, Bollinger Bands are tight. Yes, the trends are up, so the bias is to the upside, but you've got Doji up here at resistance levels. That's usually not a great sign, especially since you have a rising window. That's a sign of continuation, and they couldn't continue. So it certainly adds a level of doubt, and we'll see how it goes from here. So nothing on the upside until we can get up through and close through. But as I said, a volatile move is coming. The NASDAQ has anything to speak of, then the NASDAQ is telling us that we're going higher. The window is what actually broke the former resistance, and then it's gone sideways a couple days and then higher again today. But that is a hanging man today. Hanging man is considered a bearish candle. However, not very bearish just based on its design. The lower shadow tells you the buyers step back in, so the bulls are still present. You're slamming right into the upper Bollinger Band, which is not really providing much leeway and opening yet. But still well above the 8-moving average, above the 20 as well. No divergence on the stochastics, but it is overbought with a mild, if you will, call it a sell signal. So once again, we sort of wait and see. If I take you to the futures of the NASDAQ as an example as well, just to take a look what the futures are doing, you can see it's got a little bit of a cup-like formation, and it's currently, even after hours, a little bit higher once again. A little bit of an upper shadow today, but the bands are opening here on the NASDAQ and are making new highs. So the futures look reasonable. The NASDAQ by itself doesn't really looks okay. Looks okay. So TSX for our bundled up Canadian friends, coming right into that 1618 extension, as you can see in the pink line horizontally, just above 14,000. We said 14,000 would be the target. The high yesterday or today was 13,99958. The high yesterday 13,99960. So we've had three. The high before that 13,990 tonight. So 3 consecutive days going right into the 14,000. Beautiful round number, psychological number that they all want to attain. They have done so. There's still a trend somewhat to the downside. Let me go to the weekly chart. Actually, that trend is actually below it already. So that was broken, mind you, that whole wedge-like formation. So that is done and gone. But the 1618 is right there in close proximity. So this might be it, but right now there's really no sell signal other than the fact that this could be resistance. A sell signal would certainly give us more clues that things may drop, but right now we're not seeing that either. US dollar, Canadian dollar, big move. So up, sideways, stuck at 107, takes off, goes sideways multiple days, and then breaks on right on through into 108 plus, almost 109. Very strong move with the dollar for sure. Treasuries were a little bit sloppy. So a high a couple of days ago, well, actually a couple of days ago, it was actually yesterday, Tuesday, at the Doji formation up here at 131. We said 131 would be the resistance area, at least the target area for now. It has gone to there and then faded a little bit. That's expected. The 50-day moving average is still declining and starting to flat. The 20 is rising, looking to cross. So a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a pullback would be perfectly normal. And then ultimately looking for the next break above 131, back to 132, 133. So that looks okay. Japanese yen was strong for a while, faded aggressively back to support, and has gone kind of sideways and just kind of trickled sideways for now. So neutral right now with no apparent direction. Take a look at gold with the dollar up like it was. Gold has run into the 1250 to 1255 area and has formed a bearish engulfing, now a dark cloud cover, and is just holding again with an 8 moving average still rising, looking to cross over the 50. Look for some support here into the 20-day moving average as the 20 is rising as well. Look for just a little kind of a pullback to sideways, very quiet, looking for a bump higher through 1255 into 1260, 1265 to 1280. That's what I'd be looking for. It's oversold as well. Let's go over to gold. I'm not going to go, but crude. Crude had a phenomenal day once again. So we had a great push off the lows at 91.50. Bullish piercing, confirmation sideways a couple days with a slight grind higher. Came off the 8 moving average, pushed into the 50, broke through the 50 and the 20 today. Quite nicely, quite aggressively, I might say. And then a little bit of a pause, at least for now, with the after hours trading currently, but this looks good to get back toward 99 to 101. How fast? Hard to say, because the 20 is still declining, the 50 is flat, the 8 is rising. So right now you get a huge confluence of moving averages, which means there's really no true direction currently. Although it was a decline and it was a bounce that's beyond the 50% range now. You're still looking for the upside, but first and foremost, it needs to sort of play around, negotiate, and get these moving averages settled. So I'm looking for kind of a quieter move here. Natural gas. Remember, natural gas had its huge move up into 450, declined all the way to a 50% retracement, which coincided with the round number of $4, coincided with the 50-day moving average, coincided with the 200-day moving average. Came off a bullish Harami and confirmed immediately with a green candle, but not only that, with a rising window. So a strong continuation pattern off a reversal pattern and a support. Came up sideways 4 days, gapped lower, took off hard, and then again today. So huge natural gas numbers here. Straight up, retrace 50%, straight up. If I can call it straight up. So let's see. If I go from here to here, there's the 50% or so, and then you're looking at 490 and 520. Measuring it that way. If I go the other way, if I go this way based on the current high and low, then you're looking at a quick move into 475 to 480, and then $5. So those are the more conservative numbers. For natural gas, let's take a look at small caps and transports, I think, as well. So small caps, risk on is definitely demonstrating that things are moving. So we had a breakout above, it went sideways, it held, pushed off yesterday, even higher again today. So small caps are looking pretty good so far. So risk is definitely on. Markets are likely to go higher, at least it's telling us that until we see a sell signal. So as we said before, you're long until proven otherwise. Let's look at the transports. The transports had a good day. Transports clearly had a good day today. Let me get rid of this line here. So that's a good one. bands are opening. So if these are telltale signs of what should be going on, then of course all that compressed Bollinger Band action we saw in the indexes earlier on would mean that there's likely an upside move in the markets. If that's the telltale sign. The VIX, on the other hand, you're going to see actually gapped lower and then went higher for the day and finished with a green candle. So it finished higher on the close than it did the open, but it still finished down partially for the day. But it's still holding steady. It's still attempting to go and push higher. So a little bit of a weird correlations, non-correlations, inverse correlations here going on with VIX and the markets as well as other things as well. So it's a little bit confusing. So there's a little bit of a rotation going on right now, and we'll have to see how it all turns out. All right.